Hey, what's up, guys? Your average wargamer is back with another video of World of Warships. And well, I have a very interesting topic about this recent devlog that Wargaming has added in their devlog website. It's actually very interesting devlogs that I have read of all time. I mean, I am actually kind of shocked with the ships and their characteristics that are coming in the game. And well, we have this interesting German Z-52 super destroyer, like the German Tech 3 Z-52 getting a bigger brother, Z-57. And well, I'm actually shocked to hear the stats in the Twitch live stream from the World of Warship, whatever those community contributors or the community managers, whatever they call it. They have talked about this ship, and I was listening to their stream, and well, they said that it has a 7 kilometer hydro. I mean, this is one of the first German destroyer to have access to 7 kilometer hydro with 6.2 kilometer concealment. What? Where's the balance? I thought that the concealment would be worse, but funny enough, it has 7.7 kilometer detection. The 7.7 kilometer detection means that if you use the concealment upgrades 2 times, you can get it up to 6.2 kilometers. That's actually equivalent to Z-42, which is a German steel destroyer, right? Z-42, right? But it also has short smokes, but man, it has a 7 kilometer hydro. I would have never thought that Wargaming will do this. Now, I know that they have done with Clausewitz and Hanover, which is the other, I would say, tier 11 supership counterparts of this German Tech 3 line. But now you be having an access to 7 kilometer hydro with insane concealment. You can actually able to spot destroyers without you getting spotted for almost insane amount of time. 120 seconds of hydro. And guess what? You can also use the hydroacoustic search mod, right? Which improves the hydro duration even further. And you do have also the flags. And you do also have the captain skills. You can actually get it up to like 150 seconds of hydro or something like that. What? And then you have engine boost, the smoke generator, you have the guns, you have 8 of the guns. Your reload time is 4 seconds, so slightly better DPM buff as well. You have 10 torpedoes, alpha damage is 15k. I mean, everything is understandable. It's kind of like an upgrade to Z-52, which is a tier 10 Tech 3 destroyer. But here we are with something I would have never expected that they will do it in the game. And here we are with some insane gimmicks that we can now get on super ships with 7 kilometer radar. And I'm not joking. This is only happening for super ships, and maybe in the later part of the time, in the future, we might expect maybe 7 kilometer hydro for maybe a tier 10 premiums. This is the reality that we are in right now, guys. This is absolutely possible. If they're trying to come up with 7 kilometer hydro for German super destroyer cruiser battleships, this can happen with tier 10 ships. So that is very interesting, right? A lot of the things are pretty much similar. It's a lot like an upgrade. I don't think so. It does have a F key. It have this really insane gimmick of the hydro, which I can understand. But this is one of the ships that they have talked about. They have actually released quite a lot other ships, like for example this Japanese cruiser Suzuya. When I just heard of this name Suzuya, it just reminded me about the Suzuki Japanese automobiles. So Suzuya is a Mogami class cruiser. It has, I think, 15 guns, if I have read that correctly. So you do have 15 guns, 155 millimeter. So it's actually having up-tiered sort of Mogami at tier 9. So they're just gonna be making it at tier 9 like Mogami with some interesting characteristics, with having a main battery reload booster, guys. So main battery reload booster gimmick is getting out of hands. I mean, what about the poor French battleships and cruisers that used to have this main battery reload booster? Now you're getting it on every single other nations as well. Now the Japanese are getting it. That seems absurd. And you have the repair party like those you can find on Massachusetts, right? Massachusetts, Georgia, Ohio having a very fast reload time of 40 seconds. Maybe you can compare it to the Commissar, a steel Russian cruiser. So again, they are also making it very much normalized, the reload time from 80 to 40 seconds, or maybe 60 seconds at least for the newer ships, and Suzuya definitely is not an exception. So it's very interesting that they are just keep coming up with some interesting gimmicks, which is like what, a 7-kilometer hydro that can just perma spot a destroyer. So the destroyer will never be able to spot you in return. He has to run away. You have a 1-kilometer buffer. So that is absurd, man. Better range. You're gonna be getting better range. I think I have heard like it's going to get decent reload time with better torpedoes. So man, I mean, it's a really good package, right? The Suzuya seems to be looking pretty interesting, I would say, for a 15 guns, layout or turrets. 15 guns at least. So the Mogami class cruiser, it's definitely looking a bit interesting, although some of you might say that I don't like Mogami, so maybe you might say that. But let's talk about the Blucher. I just maybe completely crushed the pronunciation of this word. I am really sorry if anyone is German out there. I'm really sorry. But again, this German cruiser, it's kind of like a Hipper class cruiser. It's sort of having historical aspects. It's like an Admiral Hipper class. So it also having some really interesting armaments, right? It also have like 8 guns. But again, Wargaming starting to get a lot much more obsessed with improving the dispersion of not only battleships, like a lot of battleships that we have seen released, like maybe the Rhode Island, maybe the Wisconsin, maybe a couple of other, battleships having battlecruiser dispersion, and now they are deciding to give relatively higher caliber cruiser class guns with destroyer dispersion, not cruiser dispersion, destroyer levels of dispersion. So again, they're saying that at tier 9, it's basically almost having this Hipper, it's almost a Hipper, but now they are giving destroy level dispersion and also improve AP angles, so shorter fuse time, higher penetration, flatter ballistics. So they are also giving sort of a Russian AP gimmick, which sort of having better ricochet angles. So you can see here the AP is going to be extremely powerful, and this is a Dockyard ship that we are talking about. This is going to be the the upcoming Dockyard that we can get. So improved AP, also have some interesting HE, just like on the Germans. 51mm fire chance is decent. The reload time might also be decent, because again at tier 9 we are talking about, you also have torpedoes, 8-kilometer torpedoes that you don't find usually on German ships. You usually get like 6-kilometer torpedoes that you can get on Rune, on the Hindenburg. So improvement in torpedoes at least in terms of range. And you have also a couple of gimmicks, for example, like typical German hydroacoustic search, and also having a spotting aircraft on top of pretty decent 18.5 kilometer range. You can increase it up to like 21-ish kilometers, which I would say is very, very nice, right? So it's looking pretty, I would say, sort of interesting. I mean, I'm not a fan of these 203mm guns, and 8 of them. It could be a lot better if I get maybe, if I can able to see 12 guns. But again, we will have to find out what this will actually going to be like. But again, there is some unique, I would say, tier 10 Italian destroyer, but it kind of looks like cruiser. Alberico da Barbiano. I don't know if I said it correctly, but here we are. And that's also very unique. I mean, once I have seen the characteristics, it having 16 90mm guns with sap damage, having 2k sap damage. Oh, that looks pretty ridiculous. 3.8 seconds of reload time on 16 guns? Bro, what we are talking about? Look at that. Unique main battery of 16 90mm guns. And also having access of alternating firing mode, which gives the improved shell penetration with slower reload time. Obsession with F key and I don't know what. And also having very good speed at 39 knots. Like, look at the speed, 39 knots for a sort of a cruiser, but having a destroyer name, and having 15% engine boost for 80 seconds. That's pretty nice. And you have exhaust smoke generator, so you might kind of able to use it, like maybe, I'm not sure, but you can just go from here and there. I thought it might going to have torpedoes, but at least it does not. So I thought that it can actually able to rush into the battleship with the exhaust smoke generator and just damage the hell out of that, with just like the Paolo Emilio. But it does not have torpedoes, so at least there is some sort of balance with 16 guns at 3.8 seconds with sap. So yeah, it also have a burst fire, as you can see here, 4 seconds of reload time. Basically having the same sort of burst interval, so there's nothing too different, except it's just having a worse reload time. So you have a alternate alpha, or I would say the penetration, I would say, yeah. So your penetration is going to be better of 34mm compared to like 26mm sap penetration that you usually get on these 16 guns. So it's pretty interesting, right? So we have to find out what it's gonna be. But I mean, that German destroyer definitely looks pretty insane. And then you also have Gambia and Commonwealth cruiser at tier 7. I don't know what it's gonna be. I haven't even read about it. It's going to have HE shells, which is nice. It's a Fiji class cruiser, as what I have learned. Yeah, it's a Fiji class cruiser. So it's also going to get 12 guns, 15.3 kilometer range, which is pretty much typical. Also going to you're going to have access to HE, and I'm expecting, since it's a Commonwealth cruiser, it might going to have it's actually going to have short burst smoke generator, man. So it's not going to be having that you can move 1/4 of the speed. I don't remember the name that you typically get on a Commonwealth cruiser, which you find on the Cerberus at tier 10. So you're going to get short burst smoke generator. That's pretty nice. You can just disengage from time to time. It's going to be hit and run method that you can use, which I would say is going to be pretty interesting, right, for tier 7. And you're also going to have fighters to spot the ships if you are in smoke. Nice. Repair party or hydro and defensive fires. So that's looking interesting with HE shells. Definitely. So these are the ships that they have talked about. I'm actually very much excited for the Z57. We will have to find out if they're able to balance this hydro with the concealment or not. We will eventually find out. But so guys, thank you guys for watching. I think you just want to maybe have my comments and opinions. You can also give the comments or opinions in the video below. What do you think about these newer ships? Do you like it or not? Please let me know in the comment sections, and I will catch you guys into the next one. Peace out.